It was a bright morning, and the sun's golden rays reflected off the sleek, silver wings of the private jet. The luxurious aircraft stood at the gate, awaiting the final round of passengers. Inside, the seats were plush, the atmosphere quiet and calm, an oasis of comfort above the clouds. Yet, as one figure approached the boarding gate, everything was about to change. Cristiano Ronaldo, the world-renowned footballer, had just stepped out of a sleek black limousine, dressed in a simple but elegant outfit, dark sunglasses, a sharp suit, and a leather jacket. He was just another person about to board a private jet, or so it seemed. As he approached the entrance to the jet, the stewardess at the gate took one look at him and, without a second thought, greeted him with a polite smile. "Good morning, sir. May I help you?" she asked, checking the list of passengers. Ronaldo nodded, his usual charm unmistakable, but he wasn't in a rush. He'd traveled like this 1,000 times before. However, there was something slightly off about the situation. "I'm on the guest list," Ronaldo replied casually, glancing at the entrance where the other passengers were lining up. But, to his surprise, the stewardess hesitated. "I'm afraid there's a small issue, sir. You seem to be in the wrong line. Our first-class section has already been filled. You'll need to move to economy class," she said, pointing politely toward the back of the jet. Ronaldo blinked, a brief moment of confusion flashing across his face. He wasn't accustomed to this, not ever, but his expression remained calm and unperturbed. "Of course," he said smoothly, his voice steady. "Thank you for the assistance." Without any further fuss, Ronaldo complied, making his way down the aisle of the jet and into the economy section. Passengers exchanged curious glances as the famous footballer, whose face graced billboards and magazines worldwide, sat down in a humble seat surrounded by travelers. The stewardess, still unaware of who she had just interacted with, continued her duties as if nothing extraordinary had happened. Ronaldo settled into the seat, taking out his phone and glancing out of the window, his calm demeanor unshaken. He knew exactly how to handle situations like this, both on and off the field. The flight took off smoothly, with the hum of the engines blending into the quiet murmur of conversations. Ronaldo, still seated in the economy section, appeared like any other regular passenger, albeit one with an aura of quiet authority. The luxury of the private jet was evident, but so was the charm of the man who could easily have been seated in the VIP lounge. As the flight neared its cruising altitude, the flight attendants began serving refreshments. Moving through the aisles, Ronaldo noticed their attention flickering his way every now and then, but they didn't approach him any differently than they had any other passenger. They didn't recognize him. But then, the unthinkable happened. The captain made an announcement, his voice echoing throughout the cabin. "Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to extend a special welcome to a very important person on this flight. Cristiano Ronaldo, the owner of this airline, is on board today." A stunned silence filled the cabin. The passengers who had been oblivious to Ronaldo's identity up until that point now stared at him, wide-eyed. Ronaldo calmly stood up, smiled, and waved at the passengers, who were now utterly amazed. Their initial shock slowly turned into awe as they realized the magnitude of the situation. "I know many of you must be wondering how I ended up in economy," he said, his voice carrying across the cabin. "I wanted to experience the journey as any other traveler would. After all, we're all equal on this plane. Enjoy the flight, everyone." The atmosphere shifted from confusion to admiration. Passengers who had once thought he was simply another wealthy individual now realized the full extent of Ronaldo's influence. His humility, combined with the revelation of his ownership, made the moment even more extraordinary. Ronaldo had always been known for his discipline, his drive, and his ability to manage both his career and his personal ventures with precision. What many didn't know was that his influence extended far beyond the football field. For years, he had quietly invested in various businesses, including aviation. His ownership of the airline, which he had never publicly revealed, was part of his broader vision to diversify and create a lasting legacy outside of football. But the story didn't end there. After the flight, Ronaldo addressed the media, revealing that his interest in aviation wasn't just for profit, but for a vision of making air travel more accessible and enjoyable for all. He was passionate about sustainability and had been quietly investing in innovations aimed at reducing the carbon footprint of his airline. "I want to use my platform to create something positive, something that changes the way we think about travel," Ronaldo said in an exclusive interview after the flight. "It's not just about luxury, it's about creating experiences that connect people and the world." His message resonated, and the story of the day he was mistaken for a regular passenger quickly spread across the globe. It wasn't just about a celebrity who owned an airline. It was about a man who understood that sometimes true power was in quietly blending in and leading by example. As weeks passed, the story of Ronaldo's unassuming journey in economy class became a viral sensation. It wasn't just about the billionaire in the back seat. It was about how he used his success not to separate himself from others, but to create something meaningful that could benefit many. And so, while the world continued to admire Ronaldo's footballing talents, they began to see him in a new light, not just as an athlete, but as a visionary, a businessman, and a man whose quiet humility made him even more powerful than the fame he had built. The world had learned an important lesson that day. True greatness doesn't always announce itself, it sometimes sits in the back row, observing, until it's time to reveal its full power. Weeks after the flight, the story of Ronaldo's surprise economy class journey continued to stir discussions in every corner of the globe. But for him, it was business as usual. His calendar was filled with meetings, new business ventures, and philanthropic efforts. However, something had shifted within him. The world's reaction to his quiet act of humility had made him realize that he wanted to create something more lasting, something that would continue to inspire, long after his career in football had ended. One evening, as he walked through the halls of his airline's headquarters, Ronaldo stopped to look out of the massive windows that overlooked the vast expanse of the sky. The setting sun bathed everything in a golden glow, but his mind was on the future. He had a vision. "I want to make air travel a new kind of experience," he said to his business partners, who sat around the sleek conference table. "Not just for the rich or famous. I want everyone, no matter their background, to feel the magic of flight." The room went silent, the weight of his words sinking in. His passion for the cause was evident, and his track record of turning ambitious dreams into reality had already proven him a force to be reckoned with. But this was different. This wasn't about profit or fame. It was about reshaping an industry. "Think about it," he continued. "Every passenger, from the front of the plane to the back, will have access to the same level of service and comfort. Imagine a future where everyone, every single person, is treated with respect and dignity." Ronaldo's vision for the airline became known as Project Horizon. It was a multi-phase initiative designed to revolutionize the way the world thought about flying. The first phase was focused on sustainable travel, reducing the carbon footprint of flights, investing in electric-powered aircraft, and creating more eco-friendly fuel alternatives. But that wasn't all. Ronaldo also focused on redefining the passenger experience, pushing for technological advancements that would make flying more enjoyable, no matter where you sat. The luxury of the first-class cabins would be matched by high-quality service in economy class. Passengers would have access to innovative in-flight entertainment, healthier food options, and even virtual reality experiences. The airline quickly became known not only for its luxurious services but also for its genuine commitment to sustainability and inclusivity. Months passed, and Project Horizon began to take shape. As the airline began implementing new policies and features, the world took notice. The media dubbed it Ronaldo's revolution, and soon, passengers flocked to the airline, eager to experience the new, improved version of air travel. Business class was no longer the only class with priority access to comfort and ease. It was now available to all. Ronaldo, ever the perfectionist, continued to travel incognito, often boarding flights as a regular passenger, sitting in economy, and experiencing everything from the perspective of the average traveler. It was here, in the hustle and bustle of the cabin, that he found inspiration for the next steps. He would listen to the complaints, the compliments, and the suggestions, always striving to improve. He was no longer just the famous footballer people had known. He was the architect of an industry-changing movement. The airline's success grew exponentially, and soon, it wasn't just the passengers who were impressed, but industry experts and environmentalists alike. As years went by, Ronaldo's legacy grew not only as one of the greatest footballers of all time, but also as a visionary entrepreneur and philanthropist. His airline continued to lead the world in innovation, and his focus on sustainability helped inspire the aviation industry as a whole to think more carefully about its environmental impact. But it was more than just the airline that he transformed. Ronaldo's attitude and actions created a ripple effect across industries, showing the world that true power wasn't just about standing above others, it was about lifting others up. In a surprise announcement, Ronaldo revealed that the airline would also fund scholarships for young people to enter fields like engineering, aviation, and sustainability, helping to create the next generation of innovators. He had done it. He had changed the course of history, not through grand gestures, but through quiet determination and a willingness to serve. On the anniversary of that fateful flight, where Ronaldo had been mistaken for a regular passenger, he sat in a new boardroom, surrounded by his team, the same jet, the same cabin. But now, everything had changed. The world looked at him differently, but he remained the same. The CEO of the airline stood up, looking at Ronaldo with a smile. "Sir, we're ready for the next big move." Ronaldo stood, gazing out the window, his eyes fixed on the horizon. "Let's continue flying higher," he said, a quiet smile on his face. "And this time, let's make sure no one ever has to sit in economy again." And just like that, the legend of Ronaldo, who once humbly accepted a seat in economy class, continued to inspire the world. His legacy, not just in football but in business and innovation, became a testament to the power of humility, vision, and the belief that true leaders don't need to stand above others, they lead by example.